Okay, hello and welcome to Western Astrology Healing. My name is Sirius Singh. I'm an astrologer, and today I will explain to you or present to you 10 reasons why you experience narcissistic abuse. First of all, you should not take it personally because many people go through it. It's a learning lesson. Okay, it's almost like a flu. So many people experience narcissistic abuse simply because we have a disbalance of masculine and feminine energy. So too many people feel broken on the inside, and then they feel damaged on the outside as well, where maybe you become or people become narcissistic because they feel like insecure on the outside and then seek for the validation on the outside. Okay, so don't take it personally. Watch videos and understand that many people experienced it, and therefore you will like maybe suffer less because you feel like many people went through it. So don't take it personally. Okay, so see it like a flu. It's like a parasite, a tick, a mosquito, and I will present to you 10 reasons why you experienced it. So most of the time it's the childhood. So if you were mistreated as a child or if you were neglected, then that's often a reason why you then experience narcissistic abuse in a relationship, simply because you feel like maybe that's normal. The first years in your childhood are the most important ones to that form you and shape you the most. So that's kind of like where you get programmed, like a computer software system. And then you believe that that's normal. Most people who experience narcissistic abuse, like later on, only find out that there was nothing wrong with them, but that they were like just mistreated. Okay, so the narcissist is like a reminder of your parents or your childhood what happened, because as a child you kind of like see your parents as like a god or as like important figures, and then you like love them no matter what. And later on in the relationship, you then realize, no, this is not what I want anymore. So it's most of the time a childhood problem where maybe you were already abused or neglected or mistreated or criticized, and then you re-attract that in the relationship. Okay, so it's kind of like a reminder of your childhood to awaken to that, to then heal and transform it or release that energy of that you only deserve that. Maybe also your parents were narcissists or one of them and they mistreated you. So this might be like this kind of reminder of that parent where you now want to learn to heal that energy within you. So to be a better mother for yourself or a better father for yourself, and to no longer see that as normal, but to say, I am not my parents. Okay, so that's the individuation where you become your own individual human being and you observe your parents from the outside, where you see, okay, my parents maybe had a problem, but I don't have to be the problem. Okay, so that's why it's so important to take a step back and then to understand that maybe you're not the problem, but the other person. Okay, but that's most likely like the childhood and your parents where you got mistreated or something bad happened, that you then attract a narcissist in a relationship because you feel that that's normal, or you feel like that's only the only thing you deserve, right? Which is also the third reason, guilt. So there might be a guilt of like having failed your parents or having failed, as a child or whatsoever. So you attract a narcissist because it's maybe like this master slave dynamic in terms of like, oh, I failed, I was a bad person, and then it's like this punishment dynamic in a way. And you have to really let go of the guilt and shame and negative energy to free yourself to then attract a healthy relationship. Okay, so this is like Eight of Swords energy in tarot, where you feel like you only deserve negative experiences and so on. So it might be a shadow of you where you feel you only deserve negative experiences. Okay, so this is something you want to transform. This is Pluto energy. This is like overcoming the shadow to treat yourself better. So codependency happens when you feel empty on the inside and then you stay in a relationship even though it's not good for you. And here it's important to learn to love yourself and to understand how you don't want to be treated anymore and how to treat yourself better, to then also like attract a different relationship, and then to also like don't allow mistreatment anymore. Okay, so your childhood is the root of your life, and if the root of a tree is broken, then the tree will also carry broken fruits, or the tree will fall over. Which means if you were neglected or abused as a child, then as a consequence you attract these relationships until you become aware of it to then heal the root. It does not mean to become friends with your family members or whatsoever what happened. It simply means to accept that what happened happened. You cannot change your childhood anymore, but you can now reparent yourself to then become the love of your life or a better parent for yourself. And the more you learn to treat yourself better and love yourself, the more you become aware of mistreatment from the outside to then say no to that. Okay? So codependency, as you can see here in the list, is often a consequence of what happened in your childhood. That maybe you already had narcissistic parents that raised you to become a caretaker, or to become like a slave, or to always take care of other people. And now you want to say, no, I don't want to be a maid or a caretaker in a relationship anymore, but I want to have an even, balanced relationship with a person that I love and a person that loves me as well. So it's all about becoming aware of a pattern, okay? A narcissist is like a reminder, an awakener to what happened in your childhood, not as a punishment, but to heal it. So it goes from Cancer energy to Scorpio and Pluto energy. So Pluto would be your shadow, right? It's your shadow that you feel that you only deserve because of perceived guilt, which is not true most of the time, just like it was indoctrinated into you that you now want to transform. So the most important thing is to heal Cancer energy to then also attract a powerful relationship and not like a destructive relationship. So it's the same, hello everybody, it's the same thing with an addiction. When you feel empty on the inside, then you think an addiction is good for you, that it makes you feel good or it numbs pain. So the same thing happens with a narcissist, where this person might be your band-aid or someone where you feel loved, but it's not love, it's abuse. The same thing that happened to you with your parents maybe, or as a child, where you thought, oh, that's love because those are my parents. You know, you idolized your parents. You thought they were God, they were your first authority. And then the same thing happens in the relationship, okay? So don't take it personally, don't punish yourself, just understand you weren't aware of it, which is also a point here. You weren't aware of it, okay? But this is like a thing on this planet that narcissists exist, okay? So it's like a awakening, wow, like this is a narcissist. Because most of the time when you hear a narcissist or, you know, what it's about, you won't understand how damaging it actually is until you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, okay? So that's like the thing. It's a reminder that narcissists exist, those are energy vampires, to then become aware of it. But to then devalue it as well, to see it's like a mosquito, like a tick, it's just like the flu, okay? There's nothing special about it once you overcome it and transform it. So trauma bond is another factor. Trauma bond is something where two individuals come together and they think we have something in common. But most of the time it's a problem. You, however, thought that, oh, we had like a difficult childhood and now like I can save you, I can help you here. And then, right, you think you're the caretaker. The same pattern happens again. Like if you were raised to be a caretaker for your narcissistic parents, then again you feel like you are supposed to be a caretaker for the narcissistic partner. So this is the trauma bond where you feel connected, like the Two of Cups energy in tarot, but from the shadow side. You think we're sitting in the same boat, I can help you here. And the narcissist is like, yeah, you can help me here, but we're not in the same boat. I'm going to take advantage of you. Okay? So that's like the thing also with projection. You project your light onto the narcissist because you come from an idealistic, loving, perspective, and you think the narcissist is the same. The narcissist does not want your help. The narcissist wants to exploit you and take you for granted and use you. The narcissist is like a tick, a mosquito, a parasite, okay? So think of the narcissist as like a rock. It's like the moon. The moon is a rock. And the sun radiates its light on the moon, and then the moon reflects the light back. A narcissist does not radiate light. So you projected your light onto the narcissist, thinking this was a special person. However, you fell in love with your own light. Okay, so the thing is, like, a narcissist won't change. A narcissist is not going to change their behavior. You simply projected your light onto this person, and then you will see once you disconnect from that person, there's nothing special about the person. Nothing. You simply projected your light onto that person. You idolized the narcissist like you idolized your narcissistic parents. It's the same pattern. Okay? So this is all a reminder and awakening of like what already happened in your childhood, perhaps. Okay? It's a projection. A shadow projection, but also a light projection. So you become aware of your darkness, your insecurities, what happened to you as a child maybe, not as a punishment, this is Pluto energy, but to feel empowered, to transform, to heal afterwards. So just like a baby, a child gets like, bacteria to train the immune system, you had the narcissist to train your energetic immune system to now become aware of it and to protect yourself in the future and to transform yourself, your self-worth, your self-love, to no longer accept that behavior, but to change it. Okay, so self-worth is a thing. Hello everybody. Okay, yeah, I can save this video. So self-worth is a thing, definitely. This is like where you felt like useless or worthless and you felt like I have to do more, I have to help more, I have to love more, only then am I good enough, right? And then you experience the emotional collapse, which is like the equivalent to the narcissistic collapse. So that's like the trauma bond as well. Both of you want so much attention, so much love, and you give and give and give, and then you collapse. And that collapse is the awakening where you say, it's enough. Okay, I cannot do this anymore. I don't want this anymore. It's enough. So this is like the point where you become aware of the boundaries, right? That's like the step where you learn you have to say no. Love is not about making it work. It's not about like, giving and giving and giving. It should be like giving and receiving mutually, right? To be in the flow and to not like be exploited or not to be used or not to be like taken for granted. So you become aware of negative relationship patterns. You become aware of like what everything you don't want. It's the shadow. The narcissist is the shadow of love, okay? So it's all about the individuation where you become aware of who you don't want to be anymore and who you want to be instead. And everything you projected onto the narcissist, the light, the love, the idol, the godlike energy was actually you that you projected onto him. And everything he made you feel was actually the narcissist. So this is an identity swap that happens often where you become darkness and the narcissist takes your light, your spotlight because of jealousy or whatsoever, and then says, I'm the world's greatest. Okay, so this is the identity swap. This is very important. This is a real thing, identity swap, where you give your love and everything your light and he takes everything from you and you lose everything. Okay, so you experience narcissistic abuse not because of punishment, but to become aware of it, to understand that narcissists exist. Before, maybe you heard the term, but you said, oh yeah, that's interesting, whatever. But once you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you understand how severe the situation is, how damaging it is. So you learn a lot about awareness, understanding people, not being so impulsive, right? Observing a person first before you enter a relationship. A person could tell you, oh, I'm the world's greatest, and then you maybe say, oh yeah, that's true, can we be together? And now you might observe that person first to understand, is it really a good person? You learn to trust your intuition. You learn to always pay attention to your intuition. This is so important in this world, okay? Trust yourself the most. Always listen to your intuition to understand, is a person good for you or not? How do you feel around a person? A narcissist can tell you 10,000 times, I'm the world's greatest, but your feelings, they should always tell you if a person is good for you or not. How do you feel after a narcissist? Depleted or do you feel good, right? So it's very important here to understand, to get to know yourself. It's all about becoming aware of yourself, who you are and who you don't want to be anymore, what you don't want to accept anymore in relationships. Okay? So I'm just going to sum it up here. We have got 10 points. Your childhood, look at your childhood. What happened? Was one or two of your parents a narcissist? Then guilt. Do you have guilt? Do you have like a master-slave dynamic that's repeating, where you always feel like submissive, or you feel like you only deserve this, you only deserve shadow energy, you only deserve negative energy? This is something you want to overcome. To no longer be the martyr, to no longer be like the caretaker, to no longer be the maid, but to be the embodiment of love, to then attract and receive love on the outside. Okay, so think of the Two of Cups in tarot. We have one Ace of Cups and another Ace of Cups. This should be like a healthy relationship. You want to learn to fill your cup, to say, I'm the source of abundance, to then attract the love on the outside. If you feel empty on the inside, you will attract a person that also feels empty on the inside. And that's like the trauma bond, okay? So learn to say no, get rid of the codependency, always be able to detach, never ever need a man or a person to feel happy or lovable, always be emotionally and financially independent, okay? Learn about what a trauma bond is, and then no longer project. Don't project your light onto other people. See who they truly are. And then become aware of what narcissists are. Watch some videos to understand the signs and symptoms. Not too much, because otherwise you will manifest like too many narcissists in your life. You will say, oh, this is a narcissist, that is a narcissist, right? A narcissist is simply like a mosquito or a tick. They're not that special. It's just something you had to learn. It's like a flu, and that's it. And then become aware of like how you treat yourself and how you want to be treated. So that's like the awakening to you, like how you want to treat yourself and how you want to be treated. And also like for business partners, friends, everything. A narcissist helps you to become super sensitive in terms of like understanding, you know, who this person is, what are the signs, the symptoms, and so on. Don't be so impulsive. Don't rush into the relationship. Get to know a person first. And then heal your self-worth to say, I deserve to be treated well. I deserve to be treated in a loving way, okay? Listen to your heart, pay attention to your emotions and feelings, and learn to say no and to set boundaries, okay? Does anybody have any questions why you experienced narcissistic abuse or what you experienced? Maybe we can discuss this together. It's just like important to not take it personally, right? You will understand that many people went through it. It's always the same signs and symptoms. It's always like the same patterns. It's like a program. It's just like a tick, a flu, a mosquito. Many people went through it. Just don't take it personally. See it as a nightmare that you wake up from. So you wouldn't be sad if you had like a nightmare, right? You would just say, oh, wow, I just woke up from a nightmare. Life goes on. So give yourself the permission to live on, to make the best out of your life, and to keep going from there. Okay, so to detach and to understand that now you know what a narcissist is. Now you know better to treat yourself better, to set boundaries, to say no, and how to attract a healthy relationship. How do you choose better? How do you choose a proper partner going forward? Okay, so write everything down that you experience negatively, and then you transform it. Okay, so write everything down, that how the narcissist mistreated you, how you felt and everything, and then you transform it. This is Pluto energy, this is alchemy energy, where you transform the negative into the positive. Okay, so that you have like a non-negotiable list of how you don't want to be treated anymore and how you want to be treated. And then you do the work for yourself. So we go from Aries to Libra energy, where you learn to everything you want from a partner, you have to embody first. This is Ace of Cups energy. To then say, I deserve love because I am love. Okay, I'm the embodiment of love. Put in the work first to then say, of course I deserve to be treated that way because I treat myself that way. So everything you decide from a partner, you have to give to yourself to then attract it naturally. It's almost like impossible to not attract a healthy relationship. I mean, you can still attract a narcissist, but if you treat yourself better, you will see it's the same way. Like if you go to the gym and you exercise, it's almost impossible to smoke a cigarette or to do like any binge drinking or whatsoever, because you simply feel too good for that. right? It's all about like raising your vibration, becoming the source of love, becoming the embodiment of love, to then easily detect mistreatment because it's a contrast. Like if you mistreat yourself subconsciously, then you don't know it any better. And that's why the narcissist came into your life, to become aware of how you don't want to be treated anymore, how you don't want to treat yourself anymore, turn it around to then now know what you want and how to be treated. Okay? But yeah, I get it. Like there's so much paranoia after a narcissist. You kind of feel like, oh my God, is this going to happen again? What do I do now? Always have a therapist, always have a lawyer as a backup. You don't have to pay them regularly, but just like as a backup, like a contact that you can like know, okay, I have a person I can ask, like, you know, what's going on? Am I being manipulated, or is this normal? Like what's happening here? It's so important to always have like a backup, okay, like an entourage almost. People you can trust, rely on, to always feel good. Do you have any other question, or have I answered that question? Yes? No? Okay. I think I like this format. I will continue with more of this these live streams in the future. You can subscribe, and then I will make more live streams about like how to heal, how to recover, and okay, great. How to heal and recover. So I'm going to do more live streams like this. That was fun. Okay, so don't take it personally. The narcissist is simply like a tick, a mosquito. You wouldn't feel hurt. You wouldn't feel sad if a mosquito bit you. It's like a nightmare. You wake up from it. Now you know how to treat yourself better and what to tolerate and what not to tolerate. Okay, so see you in the next live stream.